this is all weird. Like they changed a lot of stuff with YouTube, like on the back end. So like you don't press go live on the YouTube thing anymore. If you're on OBS, you just go, and it just
Oh,
like
really?
connects. It's kind of quirky. So let me share this real quick. Uh, with that goes. All right, should be good there. Boom. Probably take a minute for people to come in. Yeah, you want to pull it up on your phone. Just make sure it's muted. Got a
Yeah,
cool,
I'm
got a,
waiting. So,
got a cool little backdrop. Kind of a mix of our colors for football of Vikings and Green Bay.
oh gosh, I guess it'd
Lance,
be nice.
Lance
It
put
should
it
be nice.
together. Lance put it together a while ago. This is like, dang, it's been forever, man. Like since we were start doing this.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. Can't even remember the last one we did.
Trying to wonder if we're even. Well, it says we're live. Who knows? We'll see if anybody shows up. Kind of a last second thing that I tweeted about an hour or so ago. So uh,
Yeah, I'm excited for this MMA card this weekend too.
yeah. What's up, Zach? The MMA card? Oh yeah. Cormier.
Yeah, it's Cormier and
What's going on, Zach? What's going on, Tom? We got Justin back in the building. How does he sound? Check 1 2. Scos.
can you hear me? We all good? Hopefully, maybe.
Looks like looks like somebody's probably doing a card auction or something too tonight. Jimmy and at Buck City or something. So I don't know. They might even already be live. So I didn't even know that was going on. Whoops. So we got Zach's, we got Tom's in here. Well, that's all
I'm
we
too.
need. That's all we need. So, what's up, guys? Hey, it's been a long time. It's been a while. We got Mr. Scove's big hits. Justin back in the building, joining us tonight. Man, we don't really have a real game plan, but it's been a long time since we've done one of these streams, me and him together. So we just figured we'd pop on. Just kind of worked with our schedules that we could do this tonight. What's up, Carter? How you doing, man? William? So we're just gonna kind of catch up, hang out for a little while, chat it up a little bit, talk a little sports. There's a lot that's probably gone on. There's a lot that's been happening. Baseball started, NBA started. There's a lot of things going on in the hobby. Man, Scoves, Justin, first and foremost, how you been, man?
Been pretty good. It's been a little bit since we've been on, so I've been all over the country seeing what COVID's like everywhere else. So
So,
checked out. I was in Minneapolis for a weekend. I was in I was I was in Cincinnati. I was in Indianapolis. I've been in Georgia, Tennessee. It's been a crazy couple weekends, traveling around the country. But hey, we're back. We're back in good old Wisconsin, and everything's ready to go.
so traveling for baseball, right? The baseball team.
Yeah, coaching out there. So yep, we're doing that, and
So
it was
what? So let's just kind of let's. I guess let's just talk a little bit about that. Since a lot of us have probably been pretty grounded in the sense of not moving around a lot, not traveling a lot, unless you're someone like our boy Jimmy Guns, who's obviously doing his trip with Aspen, traveling all over state to state. But a lot of us probably grounded, pretty grounded, probably sticking around within our towns, within cities around us, not really going different states. What is it like as you're traveling around? And I mean, are you seeing when you get to different states, is are things much different state to state as far as like going to get food, what's open, what's not, kind of just the way people are some towns like more ghost townish, like people just don't really come out or do anything, and then others are much more heavy, there's a lot more traffic. I mean, just talk to us a little bit about it.
yeah. So I saw. I think the last time it must have been 2 months ago since the last time we popped on here. So
Yeah.
when I started leaving. Like when we went down to Georgia, that was about a month ago. About a
Okay.
month ago, to Georgia, and like we were at Kentucky, and I had to go to the bathroom, and I couldn't even go in because I didn't have a mask yet because Wisconsin didn't have the mandate yet. A
Uh,
lot didn't have it, so Kentucky had it. So I couldn't even go to the bathroom in Kentucky. I had to literally hold it till we got to the next state because every place was got to have a mask, got to have a mask. Georgia was pretty a little bit more open,
yeah.
and I mean when we were down in Georgia, that was the 16U national championship. So there was like 140 teams on there at
Wow.
the Lake Point complex. It's a beautiful area, a beautiful complex down there. If you're down in that area, definitely check it out. But it was definitely very different state to state. Minneapolis and Minnesota, I'm sure you guys are probably the same way. Our person just passed it, so we have to wear one everywhere now.
Right. Right.
I think that's how it is in Minnesota, if I'm not.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. We're wearing one everywhere, you know. And I don't know. I mean, that's not really something we need to get in and talk about. This isn't a political or hey, the corona world. We want to kind of stick away from that, but at the same time I wanted to bring this in just, with you traveling a lot and going in all different states with the baseball team, kind of getting a different impression or what it's like,
Yeah,
going as you go state to state and how different each state is and how people are,
it's
so
crazy.
yeah. So baseball started back up. Obviously, NBA started back up as well. Any team or any teams that surprising you with the start since the season started? Any players that have really been sticking out that surprise you?
Well, for NBA, I think someone said it in there already about the card market is just insane.
Yes.
For NBA.
Yes.
I was very impressed with. Obviously, you can go with your Trailblazers, but I also was very impressed with Luca to even more than I already was.
Yeah.
Uh, that dude is just—he's not the fastest dude. He's not really more athletic than anybody in the NBA, but he's
Right.
just really in the right spot, does the right things, makes the right passes. And I was there, and I was watching the game against the Bucks, and he ended up coming back and beating the Bucks.
Yeah.
Uh, Obviously, the Bucks don't really have anything to play for right now, so they haven't really been playing their guys as much. But
Right.
that was a great game. Watching that, obviously, your Damian Lillard has been insane.
Right.
He's just I can't even.
Dame time, right? It's Dame time, right?
It's
What
always
time
game
is it?
time.
It's Dame time. Yeah.
61 yesterday or 2 days ago. I think they're in now. I believe it's Memphis and Portland, which sucks. I really wanted to see the Suns go
Right.
against Trailblazers, to be honest, because I don't think the Memphis has a chance without Jaren anymore.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that's tough. And for baseball, I've been actually really. I hate to say it, but the Cubs, they've been impressive. The White Sox, again, like I said this before, they've been impressive.
Yeah.
I hate the Cubs, and they're playing the Brewers tonight. And I'm sure they'll beat us because the Brewers have just been terrible.
And they got Nico Horner is leading off tonight. Nico Horner's in the one
Yeah,
hole tonight. So
yeah, he's leading off. I saw that, and our pitching staff is just so bad. I do really like Tampa Bay as well. They look very good. Been really looking into like Austin Meadows. He's been fantastic. Brandon Lowe. I really wish he had more stuff, but Brandon Lowe has been
right.
on one.
Oh
My
yeah.
boy G-Man Schultz there still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
I
guys
gotta
are.
tell you, I mean, even like, dude, so, I play DFS daily. I mean, I do.
Yeah, me too.
And, yep, and it's been a struggle for me, at least personally, because all of these NBA slates starting at 1, 2, 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock
Mhm.
Central Time, whatever, like during the middle of the day, trying to, like, I don't have the time to research. And, even baseball was weird today. Like, the start time on the main slate for FanDuel, anyway, was
4
3
o'clock,
p.m.
3
Central
o'clock.
Standard, 4 Eastern. And yeah, what I'm finding myself do is what I typically do in like the GPPs and stuff is I've been stacking a lot of Orioles bats on a lot of nights because they're just not owned and they're hitting home runs.
Oh yeah.
In this slate today, I stacked a lot of Pittsburgh bats, and look what they got 9 runs in the first or second inning. Like
Yeah.
just
Mine was
in Cincinnati, a home run ballpark. That's you just got to run with it because you know that percentage that ownership is going to be low, and that's what you're really trying to gauge when you're playing DFS. You don't want to be as like everybody else, otherwise you're just eating chalk with the rest of them and just kind of barely winning. Either I want to lose or I want to win, right? I don't want to
yeah.
kind of just break even. So
That's I had a really good day yesterday, and I'm doing well so far today. I had a three-man Tampa Bay stack with Renfro, Brandon Lowe, and Meadows, and I believe that Brandon Lowe has another dinger today, so it's 3 home runs and three straight
Renfro has two.
two dingers. So I'm
Yeah.
sitting pretty well. It's just I went with Glass now because I can't. I hate you, Darvish, with a passion. So
Right.
uh, I went that route, and they're just not letting him go.
Right.
They're just not letting his pitch count go where I want. And I'm like, if Glass now might be one of the best pitchers in the MLB right now. Honestly, he is so filthy. 100 plus, has a breaking ball that is just unhittable if he throws a
Right.
curveball when he throws it right.
Right.
Uh, it's one of the most electric arms in the world. And they just, I mean, obviously I understand they got to let him go a little bit because, right, I mean, he struggled. He gave up 2 dingers, I think. I think Verdugo took him yard, and Verdugo's looked very nice with the Red Sox.
Right.
That's on another
Yeah.
wavelength, but
Right.
just if he could just like, I think it was him and Garrett Cole both with the Pirates, as well as Meadows too. That was
Yeah.
with the Archer deal, I believe, not just the Meadows and Glass now.
Right.
But damn, man, they missed out. Like Glass now is legit.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep.
Legit.
Absolutely.
He
Absolutely.
only got me like 25 today, so wasn't the best. But we're gonna need some. I hate to say it, but I have Javi Baez in my lineup tonight, and I have a few. I think I have one. I have what's his name for the Reds, the leadoff guy, the guy from Japan.
Oh, Shogo.
Yeah, I have him today too. He was 2,300, and I have McCutcheon because McCutcheon was 2,200.
Yeah, and he's bad one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him too. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. And what are you doing NBA? Have you been playing NBA DFS as well?
Yeah, I had actually last night I won over $100.
Nice. Good
Like
deal.
a $10 entry. I've
Are
been doing
you
pretty well in NBA because like
Well,
the
it's
one
like playoff basketball, right? I mean, it really is. It's been pretty much like playoff basketball, except for, like when well, it is, except for when these teams like sit a bunch of their, so and so's out with a knee, and this guy's got a bum ankle because they're gonna sit all their stars and rest them or do whatever, to get ready for the playoffs. But it's pretty much, I mean, you're talking your most slates are what 4, 5, 6 games max, with less teams as well a day. And are you finding that when you build your lineups that you're leaving a lot of salary on the table, or are you
no,
using
not
it up?
really. I've been doing a lot of stars and scrubs. That's been definitely the way to win. Yesterday, or even today, like today, I got screwed over. I made 2 lineups today, just threw them in one tournament, like I usually do.
Yeah.
And I had Luca in one of them, and he just screwed me because I only played him the first half.
Right.
So he had 13 minutes. But in my other one, I went stars and scrubs with Levert, Lillard, John Morant, but I also went with one of my guys because I know the Bucks roster. I know all these rosters very well.
Right.
So I put, Frank Mason today dropped me a
Yeah, you
40
did good.
as a minimum price.
Yeah.
So we're really hoping that we can get a little Joe Harris Levert action. 'Cause if those guys go off, I could be sitting pretty well.
There has actually been slates so far since it started where I think I've left 1,300, 1,600 on the
damn.
table and still came out. I mean, not taking down tournaments, but still taking out I think, and for people who play, and I mean, again, everybody's got different approaches, but the way you have to, when there's only 4 or 5 games going on and there's only that many people to select from, you really have to get different and you really have to find a way to get cute. And a lot of times, most people when they play and they see their salary and they're building their lineups and they're like, oh, and then you might build like the lineup that you like, not even looking at your salary if it fits in. And then you're like, oh, I still have $1,200 left, or I have 1,000, or I have 900. People always want to spend it, right? Because they're always like, oh, I still got 900. Well, I better switch this guy. Let me see who I can fit in here. I better switch this guy. And a lot of times I found that in the past, that's what's really screwed me. I go back and I look at like like the past on what I built and where it would have been and where it would have landed if I would have left that guy and just left money on the table, and I would have ended up that much better. So I like to get cute. I like to do things, a little weird, if you will, when it comes to it, and not eat up all that money. And whether it's the right approach, and I'm not saying that's how it is every single slate every single day, but there are a lot of times so far since NBA's came back where I've found myself just sitting with not using up full salary, and being
For
semi
sure.
successful. Not again, I haven't taken any tournaments down since came back, but I've had some decent wins, just
Yeah.
nothing crazy. So
Yeah, and for anybody who's, I think there's some people ask you about DFS, but it's like if you just had to kind of know what your end goal is, like if you're 50-50s, play the chalk, like take it, like take all those guys. But when you're in, the weird thing is with these sports is there's basketball and baseball at the same time, so I'm playing both slates.
right,
When I'm doing basketball, it's like you have to think, oh, I can't really, stacking in basketball really doesn't work like it does in baseball. Uh,
no,
so
no,
basketball is like you know that Luke is going to outscore a $4,000 salary player on FanDuel. Like that's obvious.
right,
In
right.
baseball, you can like like I said, I had Renfro today at 2,400, and he's destroying Bryce
Yeah, I got
Harper
him too. Right,
4,500.
right.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
like it's there's so much differential in both sports. It's like
yeah, yeah.
I'm only going GPP right now. I'm not really playing much
Well,
cat.
basketball is very predictable. Baseball is high variance. I mean, if that's an easy way to explain it, that's an easy way to look at it. Like you can, if you, well, in most cases. Now, you can't predict, you can't project a player that is just now not going to all of a sudden get the minutes. Like he's a starter, he's averaging 30 minutes or 34 minutes, and now all of a sudden this game he's off to start the game, and coach is like, you know what, I'm putting someone else in, and now someone else gets in there, and now they're hot, and they just kind of run with it if they need the win. You can't project that, but overall, you can typically project what kind of minutes the players are going to get. Minutes equals volume in some sense. Now, if you're certain players that have really no peripheral or they don't contribute to anything unless they can hit a shot or make a three-pointer, they don't get rebounds, they don't get steals, they don't get blocks, they're not aggressive, they're not anything like that, and they can play 30 minutes. Andre Robinson, per se, and Andre Robinson for OKC is just a guy that just comes to my mind.
Oh
Those
yeah,
guys, the minutes don't necessarily equal the volume because they're not doing much. They're standing around looking to take a shot, and that's it. And if they don't hit that shot, you're in for it. You're gonna have a rough night if you line them up or put them in your lineup. But at the same time, pretty predictable. Where yes, baseball, man, it's anybody can hit a home run on any given night, and anybody can ultimately hit two home runs on any given night. I mean it. There's really no say, and a lot of times, like, I don't know, personally, Justin, what I do is I typically go after the bats and the teams that nobody's really going after or looking at, that aren't really in the greatest spot for the tournaments, not for cash play, but for tournaments, because if you're going to take it down, that's typically how you're going to take it down, right? You have to be cute, you have to be different, you have to hit something that people just aren't on. You have to have that under, low percentage owned player, or a couple players, or maybe even team stack that nobody was on. You
yeah.
know,
My the tournament I took this down like in the beginning of this season, or no, it was the end of last year. Was
Yeah.
the last tournament I took down. That was about a 3,000. I think it was $3,000 win, for me. Um,
Nice.
but that was when I had the chalk stack, which was the Astros. I mean, sometimes you have to, but I went Caleb Smith for
I
Miami.
played a lot of him last year. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
he never owned
Nope.
fly ball pitcher, strikeout
Yep.
pitcher in Miami. I mean, it was just something that added up well for me.
Right.
And then I ended up going with pretty much just two one-offs. I had the Cardinals and the Astros, and then I had a one-off of Billy Hamilton at minimum price, batting ninth for the Royals, and he had no hits, three stolen bases, and put up 18
Yeah.
points for.
Stolen bases, baby.
And
It's
then I
like
also
blocks
had,
and steals in the NBA. Same thing. Like
Mhm.
you get those players that have the that get the peripherals that do everything or do a lot more. Now they don't. A lot of some of these guys don't show up every night. Like even when they're playing, like it's almost like a lot of these players like it's like they just decide on what night they're gonna want to turn it on and what night they're not gonna want to turn it on. I mean
Yeah,
that's
that's what's
typically how it
frustrating.
goes. They get the minutes, they're out there on the court, but they're just not doing anything. What's up, Posada? What's up, Jeff Nickel? Fester's in the building. I'm gonna say Joe Mansman. How you doing? Ron Figgy. Who else? Balls is in the building. I sorry guys, we've been going back and forth. Posada said, "I hope the Lakers turn it on and stay healthy." That was really the team. I was really pulling for LeBron. As a lot of people may not like him, hate him, whatever. I'm a LeBron fan. I'm not gonna deny it. I don't think I've hid that from anybody. I tell people all the time that if I'm buying cards, if I'm spending the money, I'm buying LeBron cards, LeBron rookies over Luca rookies personally because it's a guarantee. Luca is insane. Luca may end up with better numbers, but he's got a long road ahead of him to continue doing what he's doing, and he has to stay healthy for many, many, many years to get there. Right
Yeah,
now, he's on fire. Right, he's incredible, but he's got a long way to go to get to that level. That's a guarantee. He's no guarantee.
yeah,
He could
and
have a career-ending injury
mhm.
anytime, and he's only got a couple years in him.
Yeah,
So
and
far,
that's really weird to me. I actually ended up buying a couple Jimmy Butler Prism rookies. Um,
ah,
from the
nice.
13 season.
Yep.
That's one of my under the radar buys that I think is great right now. I
Right.
don't know why I'm buying them for like $70
Yeah.
for a Prism rookie in a super short print year of 2012 2013.
Yep.
And I don't really understand it where like I bought this one for 60 this I don't know if you can see it there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yep.
I bought it for $65 before quarantine, and now it's over almost $400. Um, Unbelievable jump,
Yeah.
but I don't get that. Like Jimmy Butler is probably a much like he's a big name,
Right.
very well for a great team right now, and Tyler Hero's stuff is more expensive than his. Where does that make any sense?
It
It just
doesn't. It doesn't,
doesn't.
man. It doesn't.
doesn't.
It doesn't
Like
at all. No.
because if you think about it, just like if you kind of think about it, my perspective here is I'm buying a Prism. Say you want a Prism base of Hero versus a Prism base of Jimmy Butler.
Right.
Well, Jimmy Butler's year Prism is a lot short printed even for your base cards. Like Prism
Right.
is mass produced now to the
Right.
point where you don't even know how many silvers are even in it. That's
Right.
just silvers.
Right.
But even the bases are probably way, way less because the amount of boxes are cheaper or are less made. But like I looked at a case of 2012, 2013, and it's like 50 grand, something like that.
Psh,
I saw it on Blowout. They had a case of that because
that's
that's the first year,
ridiculous.
obviously.
Right.
But like, where does this make any sense? Like, I don't understand why people are buying these rookies when you could buy the other rookie. Like, you could buy Jimmy Butler's rookie
Right.
for the same price, if not cheaper, than a Tyler Hero. Like, are you guys not watching the game?
Right.
Like, I mean, essentially the same card with a much shorter print.
Here's what it is. Here's what my answer would be for that, Scopes, is that it's like it's something I talk about a lot, like just in anything in general in life. Like, right? Everybody follows, right? Everybody's a follower. There's not a lot of people that are that lead. A lot of people just kind of follow things, whether they're following the trends, they're following what everybody, they're following what everybody else is doing. And, it's kind of like now we're like you look at the retail product, right? You go to the stores, you
Insane.
can't get it, right? If you do find it, it's like finding gold. And if you find Chronicles basketball, you're seeing them for $100 or whatever it is for a freaking blaster, a $20 blaster. So all this price increase on all this product, and even retail, the ability or the availability of it is impossible to find, right? Unless you're going to pay an arm and a leg. Everybody's going after all these young rookies, and as people are buying them, and then now we got so many non-collectors, non-hobby people that are waiting at stores and getting in with the vendors at the stores because they know that, hey, now this is a business thing. I can just capitalize on this and I can get all this product and sell it. And I may not even know what the hell it really is, right? I may not even follow sports. Who knows? Some of these people. Like anybody and everybody just gobbling up the product and then just second market just blowing up. So then we go, yeah. So then we go to like what you're saying. You got the well, Jimmy Butler he's an elite basketball player, right? His career's kind of been up and down. He's been shifted around through a lot of teams, including my own Timberwolves and a lot of other different teams. But he is an elite basketball player. Yes, he's there's no doubt about it. It's just with him, like, I don't know. I mean, if you look at someone like LeBron, let's just take LeBron, let's take Jimmy Butler, right? And let's look at them and compare them to how close do you see like LeBron and Butler?
I like personally, I think Jimmy Butler's like now with Miami. I think he's at least top 25, at
Yeah,
least.
right.
Because the guy's out there. He makes every top five probably defender in the league. I mean, I just don't, and he fits so perfect with Miami. It's insane. Like
Right.
you get him the ball. They got Hero on the outside, Duncan Robinson. It's like they fit that team to Jimmy Butler, which is really nice to see. Even with Bam, everybody loves Bam because he was the All Star. But man, Jimmy Butler makes that team go. And I hate playing Jimmy Butler as a Buck fan here. I hate playing the Heat. I hate playing Jimmy Butler because he's just one dude you don't want to face.
Right.
He's a two-way player. Everybody talks about Kawhi and stuff, but I don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't really see him being that much better than Jimmy Butler.
No, no, no. I don't think as a player as a whole. I just what I think about and what I look at is as a career, as a trend thing. So again, we go back to so I guess I bring up this then. So I don't see a huge difference in them either, right? Career wise, yes. If you look at the numbers and you look at everything, probably a big difference, right? If we were just to pull it up and look at it all. But what happens if Jimmy Butler has a career-ending injury, say tomorrow or whenever they play next? Not saying I wish that on anybody, not saying that happens, but let's just say that happens to him, and then let's say LeBron, that happens to LeBron too. Do you see a difference there in those two players as far as their card values, as far as just their anything with them, mem cards, whatever, anything that would have any kind of value or whatever with either one of those names? Do you see a difference there? Do you feel like they're both guaranteed? Do you feel like one's a guarantee? Do you feel like neither one of them are guaranteed? Does Jimmy Butler make the Hall of Fame right now if his career's over?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, for sure. Uh,
But I'm still, but at the same time, like I agree with you. Jimmy Butler is, yeah, like Balls even said, he's a probably top 20 player in the league. He might even be close to 15 ish, right? He might be right up there. And I agree. I think it's a great buy. Don't get me wrong. I think you capitalizing on it's a great buy, and it's a way better buy than it is a Tyler Hero card, like you brought up earlier too, right? About who buying a Hero over a Jimmy Butler. But again, a lot of these people are following, or they're trying to take that gamble, that higher gamble, if you will, for maybe a higher payout, if you will, if he starts, if Hero just goes off and continues to go off. But again, guys, you got to remember, unless you're moving cards, constantly moving them, like selling them, buying them, selling them, and you're not hanging on to things, if we're not looking at this from an angle of you're going to just hang on to all these cards and you're not moving them or pricing them, someone like a Hero, yeah, it could be that high gamble, it could be whatever. Now, if you're just hanging on to it until he gets super hot and gets on fire, and then you're gonna turn it when his value goes up, you're moving product. There's different ways of looking at that, and Scovs, I think me and Scovs have kind of touched on that in the past when you were talking about some of the stuff as far as, who you invest in. We've done some of those streams before, but there's just different ways to go about it. So I don't know. I'm kind of rambling. Take it from me. Yeah, kind of go
yeah,
off what I was
no.
saying here.
Yeah, definitely the younger guys would be your best way if you're moving stuff quick. Like I have like I said, like my Jaron Jackson stay. I cashed out of Jaron Jackson, made upwards of about $1,500. Three cards. I mean, that's the way. If you want quick ones, that's what you're gonna have to do. I held mine for a year because I knew the type of player he was.
Right.
But if you're gonna go with the quick ones, like your Donovan Mitchell or your Tatum's or whatever, they're already past that point. Like you can't prospect baseball, which means it sucks.
Right.
But when you're buying these guys, it's like right now, yeah, I have like six or seven things up on eBay, and don't even get me started on eBay. They've screwed me over how many times, countless. But if you're gonna do it and want to like be involved in the hobby even more, where you're flipping stuff and making it fast, I completely understand that.
Right.
But you have to have like a long term, just like your stocks, right? You need a short term and a long term. You can't just keep trying to go short term because I mean, you can easily get just as burned as it is.
Oh,
Well, easy
absolutely.
right now. It's like even to just buy like I got this one, Devonte Graham Silver Prism. I bought it for like $80 before like earlier this year, and now it's like 300. And I
Right.
mean, he's not even established. Like he's barely even been in the league. Like
And they're not even playing.
yeah, I mean they're out of it. That's the same thing with R.J. Barrett. Like R.J. Barrett's cards have like 10x,
Yeah.
10x. It should never do that. That guy was barely getting any minutes there. Even Kevin Knox. I had a Silver Prism 10 Kevin Knox that I like tripled 3x my investment in it. Are you kidding me?
I,
Kevin Knox are averaging under 20 minutes a game.
I think you know what it is. I think I can. Well, I guess I haven't paid attention to Kevin Knox or R.J. Barrett as far as when it happened. But when exactly did that spike happen? Like was it when Thibodeau became
I
coach?
think, yeah, I think it was a little bit. It was a little bit after that.
Yeah. So there you go. Because
It was when it started.
everybody knows that Barrett's now going to get 38 minutes a night. Kevin
I
Knox
love
is
it.
going to get 38 minutes a night, and they're going to be on the court the whole time. Thibodeau is going to burn them out. They're going to get all the minutes they want in the world, but their knees and their ankles are going to be shot after 5 seasons, 6 seasons, because Thibodeau is going to run them to the ground. That's what he does. So I think people are probably looking at that as, you know,
But
Thibodeau's head coach now. They're gonna get a ton of minutes. Here we go.
the only thing with that is Kevin Knox was not even in their top eight. And I know Thibodeau only usually goes like eight, maybe 10 deep.
Yeah, he doesn't need very many guys because they all the starters play.
but you have Taj there, you have Bobby Portis there, you have
Oh, I know.
you got all these dudes there, and I'm like, this guy literally wasn't even playing 20 minutes a game, and you're gonna pay a $200 for a Silver Prism 10?
No, I 100%, man. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't personally. I would not be buying any of that stuff either. But I can see
Wow.
where that trend happened once Thibodeau became coach because everybody knows. I mean, how many once the thing was put on, posted and it's on social media platforms, it's on Twitter, it's on wherever else. You just saw the memes of like just guys just gonna be burnt out and well, Barrett's career is going to be done after 4 or 5 years. He's going to be played out of too many minutes. But at the same time, people are looking at that as, minutes typically can equal that uptick, especially if the player can provide peripherals, not just be score dependent, and kind of take it from there and see what happens. But I don't know. I would assume that's probably what it was. But yes,
Yeah.
basketball in general is just like it's almost hard to even collect unless you really want to, spend an arm and a leg. Like that's really how it is.
Would you rather go for a guy like that on a bad team who has like that, like a bad team, good player, or like a Chris Middleton for the Bucks, who's good, but he's not amazing, but you're gonna see him in finals.
Well, the only here's where I look at that and I kind of question the Middleton thing is, well, Giannis is going to probably be the one that's going to be the shining whatever, like it's going to be the Giannis show. If they win the championship, probably going to be him. Bledsoe is going to be in that mix too. So Middleton and Bledsoe are going to probably kind of carry that the extra added weight that Giannis, when Giannis is off or having a bad day, it's probably going to rotate between a Bledsoe night or a Middleton night, right? Like it typically has in the past, beginning of the season and last year. Now a Barrett, not on a great team. He's young though, and Barrett could ultimately probably be the star of the team, right? I mean, if Thibodeau is like, hey, this is kind of a guy that's drafted, he's bought into him, he believes in him, Thibodeau Barrett could end up being Thibodeau's like main go-to guy, right? And if we all know if that's the case with Thibodeau, then more than likely most of the stuff's gonna filter through RJ Barrett. And if that happens and he can succeed and he can make things happen, well, now again, if we're talking about values on cards or where people are going to go, they're going to chase after it. And I would say Middleton is, Middleton is just going to kind of be one of those great players that just never really gets the recognition, right? He's kind of
Yeah,
like a
maybe.
he's kind of like a Whit Merrifield in baseball, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, right? A good kind of example of somebody who's similar that in a different sport that is very underrated, very underappreciated, as far as when it comes to the hobby.
Yeah, maybe a better one would be like a DiVincenzo who's young,
Yes.
be a 4 or 5 best player on the Bucks, or like a Jarrett Culver for you. I'm trying to keep it close to you, where Culver's better. We know he's better. Like I know he's better than DiVincenzo.
Right.
But so he's probably their second, third option there.
Right.
Better numbers, but he doesn't get playoff run. It's the same thing with like DeAndre Hunter. Like I know
Right.
DeAndre Hunter is better than DiVincenzo, but
Right.
dude, like right now I'm buying DiVincenzo because I
Right.
want because he's going to be in the.
In the finals, probably. Yeah.
It's like those guys. It's like a weird spot where do you take talent or do you take guys that are going to be watched? In my case, I went with like Mike Jaren's, Brandon Ingram's, guys that I think are going to be watched because
Yeah.
they're going to be on a fun team.
Right.
They're going to be on TV in the playoffs. But I do know DeAndre Hunter has a better ceiling or a higher ceiling, and I know having even Culver has a higher ceiling. Like all these guys have even Graham, Devontae Graham's better than DiVincenzo, but they're not going to have any chance to be on TV because who wants to watch Charlotte? You know, it's the
Well,
weird thing
right.
about
Exactly.
investing. These guys are investing. I know people don't like that word for cards, but I mean, at this point, they're damn near penny stocks.
Well,
But
and yeah, I think the big thing, and like my guy Shizler, Sean, the one that always really gets on people for the whole investing thing, and
mm-hmm.
he's got points. His big thing is people wanna say they invested in these cards or they've made all this money, but then like his one of his big things is, but they don't even own a house. Like they're invested in all this cards and all this stuff, but they don't have, like, one of the most important things that all of us would probably want if we don't own one, in like owning a house, but yet we're invested in all these cards and we're apparently making all this money. And the other argument too is, and then people will come back and go, yeah, but how can you not say it, because I put in this amount of money and I sold this for this much, right? Well, right, but how much money has one spent in
Yeah,
their time in the hobby? If you add everything up and how much we've spent, we're probably obvious. We're probably most of us are probably still negative. Like, if we really do the numbers, maybe not for this month, maybe not for this week, maybe not for the last 6 months, maybe not even for a year. Maybe we've been that good at getting the right things and selling at the right times, if that's what we do or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I see it from all angles. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like for me, my big thing is, I buy LeBrons, I get LeBrons. I'm gonna hang on to LeBrons. I don't keep that a secret. We go to the card shows. I think Cueto's last time was like, "Yep, Def bought up every LeBron at the card show." I don't think there's a LeBron that anyone else owns in Minnesota, like jokingly. But that's my own little thing. That's my people want to hate on him. People, hey, send
I
your
love
LeBrons
LeBron.
my way, man. Send your LeBrons my way, because I don't. And again, what people hate on him, and like it. Maybe there's certain things he says about his own beliefs and of whatever that may be that gets under people's skin, and that's fine. That's for each your own to be mad at somebody or whatever because of what some belief they have or what they say. But really, what does someone like him do off the court? He's not a criminal, right? He hasn't committed any crimes. He built a school in a neighborhood he grew up in for unprivileged kids. Like, I mean, he does. I feel he does good things, and the biggest thing is, like, as being a sports fan, as long as they're not doing something that's such a bad model to maybe our kids who watch sports, where they're not, as long as they're not committing crimes and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I love LeBron. I'm actually trying to save up for 2012, 2013 Prism LeBron right now.
Nice.
Um, Obviously not a silver, but I'm saving up for him right now.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I've been weirdly getting into like soccer and MMA a
Like
lot.
cards?
Not cards yet. I love.
Oh, just watching. Watching.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I've been betting on it too. I've been betting on UFC a lot.
Love
I've
it.
made I've made a lot of money on UFC these last couple weeks
Wow. Cool.
in routine. Like on Saturday, I think I was up about $500, and
Really?
that, yeah, just from MMA. I mean, it's it's a sport that, if like, not bringing this up, but like when we were watching, like it's just entertaining to watch. Like to
Right.
watch
Oh,
UFC.
absolutely. I've been watching UFC for, you know what? I've been watching UFC since UFC was like anybody fought. There was no weight classes. There
That's
was
crazy.
no gloves. Like literally the VHS days. Me and my buddies. That's when we first got in the UFC. Before Dana White really got involved, and then through that whole transition. I mean, dude, like Scovs, I think I've told you, or you may not have ever heard the stories, but I've told this throughout the channel. Like, me and my buddy, the one that I actually work for or run the business for, me and him actually started an MMA clothing line. This was years ago, before Affliction got into the MMA mix, like making the
Yeah.
Affliction shirts with skulls and stuff. We were legit. We had it was called Stand Up Fight Gear. We would go to all the local MMA shows. We actually were in with all the promoters because we knew a lot of the local fighters. We used to have tables and we would have a setup area and we would actually sponsor local fighters. Like we had fight shorts that had stand up fight gear on them, like a big SFG and a cool font, stand up fight gear down the side. We had all sorts of different t-shirts, hoodies, like we had all sorts of shit. And we would just like we would get like the top fighters, local fighters, and we would just be like, "Hey, dude, we'll throw you a bunch of gear and shit." And then when they'd come out and they'd say who they were sponsored by, they'd be like, "Sponsored by us." Dude, Anderson Silva came to the Myth nightclub at one of the shows because one of his young fighters that wasn't like that he trained or whatever, they had fight on the card, and Anderson Silva was at the show, like because he was cornering his dude. And like, yeah, dude, it used to be crazy, man. Like it's called the Myth nightclub. It's a club that's still around. They don't do fights at that venue anymore. But when they did, they had this third level. They call it the White Room. It was like the VIP room. And so,
Yeah.
like, us as being part of the show and stuff, us and the promoters and all them and all the, like, the main fighters, we'd all go up to the White Room afterwards, like, after the fights and just have, like, a VIP party and shit. Like, dude, those days, Dan Severn, you know who Dan Severn is?
I've heard the name. I don't
Was
think
a
I've seen him.
wrestler, was big back in the beginning days of the UFC. Wrestler dude, just a badass dude. He was at the Midnight Club as a guest one night. I hung out and I drank with him, dude. He would just dress like he looked like an old dorky businessman. Like he had like his little button up goofy shirt on. He was wearing like these goofy glasses, hanging out with some chicks, and he would just dude, he was the most stand up dude ever. Like just no bullshit, just I don't know, man. All the days, dude. MMA has been like a part of my life for a really, really, really long time. So it's cool that you're actually really getting into it and enjoying it. I know
I'm
Balls loves the UFC. Me and
uh,
Balls, he's got a buddy, that local guy that he knows that's actually in the UFC right now that's fighting. So
yeah, no. So like, I've been getting into it and I've been making good money on it and whatever. But it's funny because like now I'm knowing all their names, what they're good at, blah blah blah. All this stuff
right,
about them. It's like I watched it with my girlfriend a few weeks ago, and she like will actually watch UFC. She doesn't like watching basketball, doesn't like watching baseball,
right.
but watch the hell out of UFC.
Oh
Same
yeah,
with all kids. They never watched it before, and then like we were coaching in Georgia, and we didn't have a game till like 2 the next day,
right.
and it was us on Sunday. So they just came up to our room and literally was watching UFC, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" I'm like, "Yes, it is literally like that all the time." Like
Yeah.
in the Apex, like the Apex ring is like 25 feet, whatever.
Hmm.
You're just watching these dudes just kill each other.
Yeah.
Crazy with this small ring. You might as well just take everything inside the distance. These guys just go at it.
Yep. Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
dude.
I had a really big play on Derek Lewis by KO, and same with what's his face? Oh gosh, did you watch the last card at all?
Last fight I did not see. No.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it was Derek Lewis was my best one of the night, and he just it's weird because Alexei Olenek was the guy he went against,
Yeah.
and he's like 42, but all he does is submit everybody. He has
Right.
like 39 submissions in
Oh
his
yeah.
40 wins.
Yep.
Yeah, it's insanity. And he almost had him because Olenek's 205 and Lewis is 258.
Right.
So
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, what are you doing? And then all of a sudden, second round comes out. I'm like, Derek's gonna lose because he has no gas tank. And all of a sudden, Lewis just manhandles this guy. He gets on top and just throws hammers
Yeah.
in the back of the dude's head, and he just went out, lights out.
Love
Um,
it, man. Love it.
you have to, I have to figure out this guy's name. I remember it, but he literally went to the third round. He was talking smack to him, and then all of a sudden, he's just like, he went out to the third round, tried to give him like knucks,
Yeah.
like start the round. The guy wouldn't give it to him, and then 2 minutes later, he knocks him out so bad his mouthpiece flies out of his mouth, and his eyes roll back. He's done. The dude was just talking that much crap
Right.
and wouldn't
I love
like
it.
show respect to him. So he just was like, "All right, I'm just gonna sit here." Boom, locked him up. And I was sitting there. I'm like, "Oh man, why would you just disrespect this guy like that? Just knucks him, man."
Right.
I want to make this guy mad. He's oh my god, he's crazy.
Yeah, there's a guy. Well, he never made it to the UFC. I mean, we knew it. There's a list of guys that I know that fought in the UFC that were local or from Minnesota that I knew. But one of the guys that really sticks out to me that I'll never forget. We trained with him when we were at Lakeville at Strike Fitness in Lakeville when that was around before they moved that whole thing into the actual Lifetimes around here. But Mike Richmond, he fought in Bellator. He had quite a few fights in Bellator. He almost got to the title. Like he almost won the title. 145, I believe, is what he was fighting at.
Wow.
145. But dude, he had some of the fastest hands. Like if you, I'm sure he's on YouTube. If you just Google Mike the Marine Richmond, he was in the military. He was a Marine, former Marine. Dude,
Damn.
he just badass, dude. Just lights out, just knocking people out. Like he had that like just quick, fast, like boxing hand speed, and he would just kind of move around, slip, counter back, and just fucking next thing you know, his hands are just going back and forth, and dude's out. But he was a guy I got to party with him quite a bit too back in the day before he had to move around to do the belt, to when he started really doing Bellator, and then he moved around for training. Obviously, he mainly trained. He went from Strike, then he went to the Minnesota Mixed Martial Arts Academy, and that's where majority of the UFC fighters that are from Minnesota, if they stick around, that's typically where they train.
Like Gaethje?
Under Greg Nelson. No, he's not from Minnesota, but I know who he is. I love that guy, man. I
thought Gaethje was from Minnesota.
I haven't. No, I had him beaten. What's his nuts?
Ferguson.
Yeah. Yep. That was a great time.
This is what's crazy to me is there's like 9 UFC fighters from Milwaukee. Do you know that?
Really?
Yeah, the Diaz brothers. They're obviously the biggest ones, but yeah, if you go through the UFC cards, there's so many people.
Diaz brothers are from California.
I thought they were. Well, no, they trained out of Milwaukee.
You're not talking about Diaz. You're talking about the. You're talking about not the Diaz brothers. You're talking about the other brothers. You're talking about not Nate and Nick Diaz. You're talking about.
Who am I thinking of? I know the brothers are there.
Yeah. Why can't I think of it either? Come on, someone help us out here. Chachi, what's up? Someone help us out here. Who is they train with Rook or they
Yes.
Yeah.
Roofer King.
Yes.
Roofer King.
But who the hell are they now? You got me. One's a big name and one's like made it to the UFC, but he's just always been undershadowed by his brother because his brother's had all the success. He's the one that did the kick off the fence, like back in the WC or whatever. He climbed the fence and did that kick off the fence. I know I can't even. Why can't I not put the name to it? Somebody's got to help me out here. Is anybody out there? Is anybody listening? Is there anybody out there? I think everybody left us, but probably just talking to ourselves here, which is fine. UFC.
Who am I thinking of?
Come on, guys. Who is it?
Not Silva.
Not. Wow. I cannot even believe this. I know I can picture him too.
Why did I say Diaz? I know who I'm talking about. I just can't think of these guys.
Who do you got in the main event this weekend?
I have Cormier.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Stipe. You know, I got a little tiny, not really me personally connection with Stipe either, but
Somebody said Henderson.
not Henderson.
Isman put Henderson. I don't think
No,
his
it's
brother.
not. It's not Henderson, but I know you're talking. Henderson doesn't have a Henderson. It's not Henderson doesn't have a brother. It's Pettis. Pettis boys.
There it is. There it is.
Pettis.
Oh my God, Austin Pettis. No, that's a
Anthony Pettis.
Anthony.
Anthony Pettis and his brother. I forget what his brother's name is, but his brother also is in or was in Sergio Pettis.
There
Anthony
we
and
go.
Sergio. I think his brother's
Anthony
name is
Pettis. There we
Sergio.
go.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I couldn't remember that, but yeah, there's like 7 or 8 other Roofer King guys. Uh,
Yes.
on the
Yes. No. Yeah. Diaz guys are straight California. California love.
Yeah, it says Isman was cheering for Cormier. It looks like too, but I just this is Cormier's last fight. I think he's already publicly said it. I don't see him losing this fight. I know it's pretty pick'em right now on the books right now. It's 120 for Stipe, minus 110 for
Is Balls
Cormier.
here?
But
Balls still in here? Who does Balls have? My man Balls
I
in
don't know.
here? Is anybody else follow the UFC that's in chat? We got 4 people watching. Anybody else?
Isman,
I know. I think Jimmy went live for an auction, so I'm sure that's where everybody's at with BCB.
Isman says Cormier. I think Cormier wins. I'm actually very, very, very excited for this card.
Sean O'Malley's fighting too.
Sean O'Malley,
Co-main event.
Burns, the younger Burns brother, is also fighting. He's fantastic. One of my favorite plays of this weekend. I don't know if anyone in here bets on UFC or anything, but to have Burns win by submission, I think it's like plus like 180 or something. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, he is so good, and his striking is coming around. I have a parlay this weekend of O'Malley and Burns, and it pays out like minus 110. I'm like, Sean O'Malley is like he's got. I don't think it's a lock because like he's starting to get into like that upper echelon type of competition. This
Right.
week probably to that they call it like the gatekeeper almost to get to the top 10 of the division. But man, dude, Sean O'Malley is impressive. He's impressive.
Right.
He is huge for that for the weight class. But I found who it was. It was Kevin Holland. You know who that is?
Kevin Holland.
That's the guy who you'll have to look up the video. The video of Kevin Holland knocking out the guy this weekend. It was insanity. It was a left hand to the side, mouthpiece flies out. It was absolutely insane.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a lot of great fights on this card, especially with it's a pay-per-view card too. So the main card is amazing. Very, very good.
Heck yeah, yeah, dude. I'll be watching it for sure. For sure, for sure.
Yeah, hopefully I'll find like on crack streams or something to find the fight. I ain't paying $100.
Balls can usually get a decent link too. I don't know. I'll probably
Yeah.
just end up buying it though. The problem I always have with those is you get those links and then they work, and sometimes and then like it goes out or it gets blocked like right as the main event starting. Like I've had that happen sometimes. I've been able to watch a lot through all the way through, but I have had that happen where you're on whatever link and it's like you get to watch it all the way through and then it gets right to the start of the main event and then like it goes out like they find it and block it or do whatever with it. So so what you got anything else like brewing or coming up or just baseball or what do you got?
Yeah.
You got any crazy things for the channel coming up or going on or anything?
Yeah, no, I'm heading to the first card show around here in a while. It'll be up on Saturday. I think that'll be my first one since this whole quarantine stuff. So it's like all my cards are now more expensive. So
Right.
I'll have a little bit more stuff to trade, and
Right.
I've had like 6 or 7 people ask me if I'm going because they all want my purple Keston 10. They want my 1010 Keston because I think it's a pop 3 or pop 4.
Oh yeah.
And obviously we're in Milwaukee, so everybody's literally asking me about it.
Nice.
I don't know if I'll be able to sell that one or move that one, but
Probably gonna hang on to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out there.
Unless the
Hopefully,
offer's right.
dude, people are crazy. Like I had a you listen to this eBay story. Listen to this one. I got this one a couple days ago. So I have this card. Remember, I pulled this one on screen. The Tatis.
Yes, yes.
This guy on eBay, I have it up for like 200. Guy on eBay says, "I'll give you 110 for it." I'm like, "No," and he puts 115 and tells me he is not having that good of a year.
Oh, so you should give it to him for 115. Oh, that
Oh,
Tatis is not having a good year.
yeah, and I'm like, "Did you
Oh,
look? Fernando
that
Tatis
I could
is
have
literally
I
the
could have
number one
taken that
ranked
either
player."
way. Like he was using that as like give it to me for a good price because he was personally not having a good year. Like dude, I've
Oh,
seen some weird things from people, man. Like, oh my so and so, so can you do this please for me? Like okay, like we all have it rough. Get over it. That's life. Like we all
yeah,
gotta go
and so he's like, "Yeah, Fernando Tatis isn't having that good of a year." I'm like, "He's literally hit 5 home runs in the last 4 games. He's
right.
like, he's the number one player in fantasy this year."
I think
Like,
he, I think he just thought you wouldn't know what you were doing. Like you just had a Tatis card you were selling, and you were just gonna be like, "Oh, okay. Oh, he's not doing good. Oh, okay. Hey, hell, why don't I just give it to you for $90 instead? We'll give you even a better
yeah,
deal."
so I sent him back a message. I sent him that. I sent him his stats. I'm like, he's the number one player, blah blah blah. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I was just trying to drive the price down. I ended up buying another auto that's on card. He bought an on card Panini one.
Oh
Like
my
it wasn't
god.
even. I'm like, doesn't even have the Padres on it. You know, I was like, I can't do that right now.
Tom says he doesn't really follow, but he does bet every once in a while. I know Tom likes his betting. Tom's big into betting.
Yeah, I have my own like Twitter page for my plays actually
We need
now.
to get Tom into DFS if it's legal. I don't know if it's legal. Is it
Oh,
legal in Michigan? DFS? It's weird
it's
because
like
you can gamble it, you can sports bet in some states and you can't play DFS, and then there's states where you can play DFS but you can't sports bet. I can't
that's
sports
how mine
bet
is.
in Minnesota, but I can play DFS.
That's how mine is. We can't sports bet unless you do it obviously on your phone.
Yeah,
Um,
through like Bovada or whatever. What is it?
yeah,
Is that who he
still weird.
is?
I don't get that, but you should really. So I actually been looking into other sorts of DFS, like a lot of other platforms, the new stuff that's coming out. 'Cause there's quite a few other
Well,
options.
there's Monkey Knife Fight. Well, that's more betting, but then there's Super Draft, which has no salary. It's all the times. So like if it's a guy like let's say it's NBA, right? So James Harden
Yeah,
is always going to
I
be
know
a
super
one
draft.
times. Like it's just going to be one times his points. But if it's
Yeah,
like
like the multipliers.
somebody like a Portal or something would be like a 1.85 times his points,
Hmm.
so but there's no salary. You can put whoever you want, but just because you put your top guys in again, that doesn't mean anything. You're not going to win because there's going to be some guy that's like 2 or 2.5 times that's not even really on the radar that goes off and has 40 points, and now he's 2.5 times 40 points. So you're at 100 points.
Yeah, you have to check out this new one that I'm doing. I don't do super draft.
No,
I've
I
looked,
don't really either. I mean, I've messed with it. I don't put money into
but
it.
this one is probably my favorite one. It's actually I like it better than FanDuel. I like it better than all of them.
Right.
Called Stat Hero. Have you ever heard of it?
Call what?
Stat Hero.
Stat Hero? No, I'll look it up right now.
So I actually know the owner who created the app.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I had an issue with it. Whatever. I ended up winning like $500 in my first week. It's weird because so it'd be like you don't go against people. You go against Stat Hero. So it's like say I'm Stat Hero and I pick the Blazers tonight.
Ah, you know
You
what? This is similar to something else that they used to have, and I forget what the hell the name was it years ago. But you would actually play against the computer or whatever the outcome was. You would pick a lineup or pick a thing, and you'd go up against it. But you wouldn't just go up against it. You would also be your team or your lineup amount or your points would also go up against like a division or a group of other people. So if you got in a top certain tier or whatever, you could win like shit, and it was free. It was free to play every night, every
What?
day. Yeah, and somebody actually like got into a tournament. They had a tournament for it, and somebody won like $250,000 in this final tournament or whatever. And like they were gonna push it and continue to do it, but they were gonna try to move it to like a paid site. It was like a promotional thing to keep doing, and everybody got paid out. I got checks, dude. I would win. Like I would win. You'd win like $10, $20 a time, like if you beat them,
Yeah.
whatever, and then you'd cash out and they would mail you a check, a legit check. I'd gotten 50, 60, $80 checks from them. Like I probably won $200, $300 doing this throughout the course of when they were doing it in different sports. And then they had this big tournament that top so many people got to, and like I said, top place got like $250,000 check or some shit, and it was all free. And then they
Oh,
did this thing, and then they're like, we're not moving forward with it anymore because they probably they used it was it's just like anything, like a free website, right? So Scovs, if you do like a free website and you're like, for whatever you want to do, it's advertisement money is where you're getting. So companies will pay you to have an ad or to promote something on it. Like if it's a company that they know is going to have a lot of eyes on it or people are going to be big on it. So the money that they're making from it is coming from the ad revenue. It's not coming from, it's not really free. They're not really doing it for free, even though they're getting paid from other companies' ad revenues, and that's what's paying out these free. Anytime it's a free site or a free
yeah.
whatever, and there's something that you can possibly win, and people do win, it's coming from the ad revenue. That's ultimately what it comes down to.
Yeah, so I was playing this one, and so this one's weird because why I like it so much is, like in FanDuel, we have to pay out every day, right? We have to pay to get into the next like thing, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you gotta have money in your account, or yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta pay to get into each contest. Yeah.
So this is what's cool about Sat Hero, and I had an issue like my first week, and I ended up winning whatever, and so I actually emailed their support,
Hmm.
and their support guy, I got to end up getting a call, and this guy called me, and this is like in their beta version that I was playing this,
Yeah.
and it was the owner, the guy who created the app, and so I literally text the creator of this app, and now it's getting huge, and so like I literally text him once a week. He asked me how everything's going with the app and all this cool stuff, and it's pretty crazy. Like
So
now that this,
how does it really work though? Like,
so this is the cool thing is like, so if I'm Sat Hero, right? I'm the computer, so to say.
yeah,
I take the Blazers tonight, and my MVP is Damian Lillard. All right,
right,
and MVP gets 2x. Everybody else say I take Nurkic, McCollum, and Anthony.
okay,
So combined, I score 200 points.
okay,
Take, let's say you have the Suns and you have Devin Booker as your MVP.
right,
You score 203 points. So you beat me. So
right,
anybody who beats me splits the amount of money that's left. All right. So say there's 10 other people, there's 100 people in it, 10 other people picked the Suns with you. So you make all of the money that was put in by the 90 people who lost.
okay,
So, but you move on to the next round.
okay.
So it's a survivor pool. So you can't use the Suns anymore.
I gotcha. I
So
gotcha.
now it's 10 people go against the computer next round.
Right,
And
right.
then 5 people lose. 5 people go against them next round.
Yeah, I get it.
So then when I get to the end, the reason I got paid out so much was if it's down to 2 people and you both beat them, you have the option to split the pot. So with all the money that was put in, say it was $10 a person at 100 and you have 1,000 in there,
Yeah.
there's 1,000 prize pool, but there's also the last survivor winnings. So all the money goes down. Say there's only $20 left in the pool, but it's a $750 payout for the winner.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a lot of money in it if you continue to keep winning, but it's strategy down the road. So I have to pay into that contest today.
Wow.
On my 5th day of this contest, and I'm
That's
down to the top 30 in a $15 one. So
wow.
top prize is $750.
Holy buckets. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I'll send you the link. after this, you definitely should check it out. It's probably, like I said, you don't have to pay in every time, and I think the max one that they have is $25.
Huh.
So yeah, it's awesome, and you get like a both of us will get free play and stuff. It's definitely worth it. You should definitely check it out.
Interesting. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
fun.
yes.
It's very fun, especially when like you see like I've recommended to a few other buddies, and so I'll see them and they're in the same contest as me. And the thing is I'm not cheering for you to lose. Like
Right.
we can both win.
Right. Yeah.
That's what the best part.
Right. Yeah.
Because if we beat them, we both get money.
Right. Because it's
So I'm
split.
saying, hey Jeff, I want you to suck. I hope you score 5 points tonight.
Right. Exactly.
Like, I want you to win.
It's
I
not.
want-
It's not like a head-to-head in DraftKings or FanDuel. Like,
Yeah,
yep,
no, it's
if you lose, then you lose. You're
yeah.
screwed.
No,
like,
definitely probably my favorite one. Definitely takes a little bit getting used to. It's very hard for baseball because you can only take 4 guys.
Yeah.
I had the Padres, and I hate Manny Machado, so I didn't put him in the lineup, and he hits 2 dingers. But you picked the right team, you know,
Right. Right.
and you still lose because I
Right.
just picked the right guy. It's like a 4-person stack, but you could be wrong in your stack. It's oh man, it was so frustrating.
Right.
So frustrating.
Oh man. All right. You got anything else for tonight? It's already after 7, man. I think BITG is gonna be live soon. I know Jimmy's live with BCB doing an auction. I think they went live a little while ago.
Yeah, no, I don't have too much for today. Like I said, next week we might have a little bit more time notice to come up with some
Right.
stuff. I always
Right.
like just talking to you.
No, I know. It's always a good time. It's always fun. We get each other's kind of what's going on and, let's talk about what's going on in the sports world, DFS, whatever, man. Cards,
No,
you
we
name
should
it.
do something with that DFS though. We could. I see a lot of channels doing stuff with it. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we could easily.
I know. Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, I tried to do, like, with this, my own channel, like, I think you'd almost have to, like, do some whole different channel and just focus, like, that channel would just be for that. Because, like, I tried to do that, like, I would give, like, my football picks, like, during football season. Like, I did
Yeah, I
that for
remember
a
that.
couple
I was
weeks
with you in
last
that.
week, but I did it a lot more the year before. And, like, like, I felt like there'd be people in there, but I don't know. I mean, as much as this channel is, like, really sports, just driven cards and whatever, I think for a lot of people, like, people pop in and then they're like, oh, they don't know about DFS or they can't play DFS in their state, because it's not legal or whatever the fact may be. So, but yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be cool. I mean, I would definitely be down. It'd just be a whole nother thing that we would have to, because we'd have to really be prepped for it. You know what I mean? Like, and depending on what sports we're doing, it'd be almost a daily type thing. So it'd just be finding the time to be able to fit that all in. That'd be the big
It'd
thing.
definitely be hard, but
So.
I like. There's just so many people searching for content, and I'm like,
Oh
we
yeah.
both have played it enough and
Oh, yeah.
know about it.
Yeah.
That I love sharing it with people. It's just I know that they just have to like. My biggest thing is when I share it with people, I'm like, you have to make sure you don't ever put money on the line that you cannot lose.
Right, exactly. Like
That's the
just like
biggest
anything,
thing.
it's just like don't gamble or don't go to a casino and don't don't go play blackjack with $100 if you don't have $100 to lose, because don't expect you're
Win.
going to win, or don't expect you're going to walk out with your $100 that you came in with. You have to just expect for the word. I mean, the mindset's always the thing, to have a positive mindset. But it's like I've brought up before too, man, about even in the card world, when you get into breaks and things, people set expectations way too high, and that's what burns them out, or that's where they get frustrated and they get into 1 or 2 breaks, and that's the only breaks they've ever been into, and they don't hit something and they go, man, I hate breaks. I'm never doing break, because they didn't hit that Robert super short print in their one break they got into, or they didn't get random the White Sox or whatever, or they got the White Sox and they didn't hit a Robert card in one break. You gotta expect, you're there for the entertainment. Like, you should be hanging out in these break channels and whatever, BCB, BITG, Rip and Gypsy, Midwest Box Breaks, ClassicPackBreaks.com. I'm going to throw
Yeah.
some plugs. I think RSR, Cards and Collectibles, is going to start doing some breaks now. They do their auctions on Sundays. I might miss some other people, but wherever you go, whatever you do, when you get into breaks, you're paying for the experience. It's to hang out. It's the chase is fun as well, but don't expect anything. If you hit
My
something, awesome, but don't put the rest of your money for your house payment mortgage into the breaks and expect you're gonna triple it up or quadruple it up and hit something crazy so you can pay it the next 4 months, because it's
yeah.
probably not gonna happen. It might, probably not. So
My favorite thing to see is people getting mad at the breakers.
oh
Like,
yeah,
you get mad at breakers and you can't, like, I say thank you if they hit me a big card. Like Eloy hit me my Ray Allen. And I said thank you. But it's like you could the thing is you can only really be positive with it because like I'm not going in there expecting anything.
right,
But you have to go in there and be like, if he hits me something, great.
right.
He
Yeah,
has
I
zero,
totally.
absolute
And there's
zero
Eloy. Eloy made a comment. I knew I was gonna forget someone. Eloy in the comments. I knew I was gonna forget someone. I'm listing a bunch of breakers just for examples, and I forgot my boy Eloy, and there he is in the comments. Did you see that? He pops in. Probably been lurking the whole time, and Deafness misses his boy Eloy, and he's like, he has some other comment. Scov's tried to share juices. I don't know what that meant. My
Oh,
bad, man.
we're talking about
Go cardbreaks.com, guys. Go check him out as well. Eloy's good.
uh
He actually, I saw him last night pulling some fire. Or yesterday. I was in there when he was ripping the box for Justin. He pulled that Tua. So very,
oof.
very cool card. Yeah, a little
I need to
RPA
get back in
Tua.
there.
Just what was it? 75, I think is what it was.
I
So
gotta get back in there and rip some stuff with him because like I've ripped with Eloy 3 times. One time I got screwed, which I blame him for. First time,
you got
uh,
screwed. You blame him?
oh yeah, I only breaker I blame is Eloy.
I got you. Well, there you go.
But then I have to be happy because 2 out of the 3 times, I pulled the Browns and got a Baker White out of Select. I got the Browns for one, and then I had the Pick'em team, and I think you had the Pelicans, if I'm not mistaken, in that impeccable break.
Oh, I got the. Well, wait.
I think
No.
you had the Pelicans in that
Yeah,
impeccable
maybe
break.
I did. Is that the one where Derek hit the Laker Anthony Davis auto?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and that's where I pulled the Eli pulled me the Ray Allen,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
so like I've had 2 out of 3 very good luck with him.
Yeah, he pulled
So
me a
I'm
sweet PC out of the first. I think it was the first round of Impeccable. It wasn't that break. It was the one with, I had the Wolves. I had the Wolves, and I got a Culver to 25 auto from Impeccable. That was pretty dope. Nice PC hit.
you still have it.
Yeah. Yep.
One thing I do want to talk about though before we head off is what's the deal? I saw the Nationals coming around. We gotta talk about that a little bit.
Oh, for Chicago, yeah, that'll be next. Well, next year, yeah. I mean, they're gonna. It's what, July. Eloy probably has the dates while he's in here. He can probably put them in the chat. Uh, July 31st through August 5th or something like that. They
Yeah,
just announced it the other day, or
I saw
today
that.
even. I think maybe. I don't remember. My days are going. I don't even know what day it is, right? Well, I know
No,
tomorrow's Friday, but I really don't know what's
one.
what these days.
I
But
mean,
yeah, Chicago, man, we're going for sure. I know Eloy will be there. I mean, unless there's something crazy that's still going on where they're just, like, hey, we're gonna cancel it. Like it gets to the point. Let's hope that things are going in the right direction, and you
no,
know,
I was gonna say we should just do like a huge YouTuber thing or have like a Airbnb or
there
something.
you
Just
go. July 28th through the 1st. I knew Eloy would come through. The 28th through the 1st.
but like you could come up with so much crazy content. You put all of us in like an Airbnb with like 20 rooms or whatever.
Yeah,
And then you put Eli in one room, Guns in one room, I'm in a different room, you're in one. Then you
right,
see all the
right.
YouTubers like Tom
Eloy
T
said he's already gonna have an Airbnb. He's
you
probably
already
he's probably already got it booked. Knowing
yeah,
Eloy's probably already got it booked.
Yeah, and I remember that party last year was pretty wild. I remember Eloy was just running around and buying drinks and
You know,
uh,
I wished I could have made it to the the YouTube party thing. You guys, I was at the Southern Hobby party with Lance and Joel and them, and I had rode with them. And what ended up happening is we ended up Lance and them wanted to go, which is no big deal. Like it was cool to go hang out with Coker and them too. But Coker didn't end up going to the YouTube party. He was back at the place they were renting, like in Sarah and with the kids and with I think Plowman was there too, if I recall right.
yeah,
Like
Paul
he
was
was
with us, I think.
no, oh was he? So
Yeah, Paul
Plowman
was
went
there.
there, but Tyler Murphy was with Coker and his Tyler Murphy's brother, and we went over there and hung out. And I remember I called Jimmy, I think, when I was over at there, and Jimmy's like, "Get over here," and I was like, "Dude," I was like, "I wish I could, but I can't, man. Like,
Yeah, Guns.
I don't wanna run off and and then not, not in somewhere I know and whatnot." But yeah,
Yeah, Guns had a good night, that's for sure. I'm sure Eloy spent a pretty penny on Guns' drinks because Guns was going ham.
I
He
was
was
at the
throwing
Southern Hobby
back.
party too, but I had to dip. No, Eloy, yeah, we hung out for a little bit, a few minutes. There was a lot going on, but yeah, no, we went from the Southern Hobby party to Coker's, back to Jonathan's place or whatever.
Okay.
We did, and Tyler
Yeah.
Murphy and them were there. That's why I got him. I got Plowman and him mixed up as far as who was at Coker's when we went over there that night. But it was Tyler. It was Murphy. So,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
there was a lot of YouTubers, I think, there, but it was like that was where I met Big D for life. I met him, and then I think that was the place that this dude had a Jordan PSA 10 rookie, and he had a Mantle rookie, and he get all this stuff. He bought them. It was
Yeah.
crazy. I
Yeah, I
never.
know. I think I saw a picture like you or Jimmy's holding a mantle or something. It was like a mantle that
Yeah,
was graded.
it was a
Yeah, I
PSA
remember
10.
that photo.
That's all. Foo 3112.
Yeah,
I don't. I
yeah.
don't. I didn't even know that he had a channel or anything. But oh my god, I couldn't even like
Eloy said it was Foo 3112.
my hands were shaking holding that card. It was so scary. I'm like, what if I drop this? Like, this is like hundreds of thousands of dollars in my hand right now. It's a piece of cardboard.
Tom T should make it too. That'd be awesome. He could bring him and Giller could come out together or whatever.
Where's Tom T from?
Tom T's in Michigan.
Oh, we got the whole Midwest rocking here then.
Yeah, Midwest. Except
Yeah,
for
and then
except for we got Eloy's not Midwest.
yeah, he's way out there,
He's way out there. No, we love you,
way in
buddy.
the middle of nowhere.
All right, well, we're rambling about really nothing. So let's. We were gonna get out of here about 20 minutes ago, I think.
Oh
Just
yeah,
kind of started talking about the national and whatever else, but I gotta get some food. I think my daughter's gonna probably be calling me in a minute because she is shipping to the next thing, whatever,
yeah.
tomorrow. So she's gonna have her
Up to her.
phone tonight for a little bit, and then she won't have her phone until who knows when, how many weeks down the road. But all right, Eloy, love you, buddy. Thanks for popping in. Thanks everybody. Tom, Isman, Balls, Chachi, what's up, Chach? Fester, Zach, Posada, Jeff N, Joe Mans, Ron Fig, everybody that popped in, Carter. Appreciate y'all popping in tonight. It's just kind of fun to just hang out with Scoves and just kind of ramble and chat. Till next time, guys. Tom, see you later, man. Scoves, we'll talk to you soon. It was good catching up, brother. We'll talk soon, man. Peace.
Sounds good.
Peace.
Peace out.